for questions after the first 20-25 minutes once we have asked questions, which we already have with us. And then we'll open it for you. So would be great if you guys can open up your cameras, switch on your cameras. We'll see. I had so many cameras switched on. Now everybody has switched off. Now, hi Pritesh. So Pritesh has also joined us. So would be great if guys you can switch on your cameras. We'll see your faces. We'll understand the kind of audience we have today.
I can see a few faces. Hi Shashwat, hi Chandra, hi Ranjit, hi guys, hi Ram, hi Sayan.
Hello.
Yep.
Awesome. I think we can begin. I'll quickly introduce Pritesh to you all. You have been listening to me from the last 5 minutes. Now it's Pritesh. So welcome, Pritesh. Pritesh is the co-founder CTO at FunctionUp. He has more than a decade of experience in tech, has built multiple companies in the past, has extensively worked in the field of data science, and now is working on ChatGPT and the AI bit of it. So Pritesh today is going to help us in understanding why people like me, people like you, we are not able to, make that career switch. Why are we not able to move towards data science or AI in general, where the world has actually moved towards it, right? So we'll answer all your questions, like I said. But over to you, Pritesh, if you want to address this.
Yeah, thank you, Deepthi. Thank you for that warm introduction. So, guys, I think, like Deepthi said, let's switch on our cameras. And I believe we are here today for two big reasons. One is that the world is, and I feel a lot of you might be here today for the same reason. The world is on at a stage where things are changing so rapidly that it's become near about impossible to keep track of things. Newer and newer, not just products, but roles are also opening up in the data science domain. The entire world and everything in the world around, I don't know if you have been following this or not, but if you start to follow this today, probably you'll realize it by the weekend itself. The entire world is being overtaken by data science and data science and allied skills and allied technologies, be it ChatGPT, be it there is so much automation happening, and there's so many things that are happening in the data science domain. I think just I'll let you know that I have worked across. So I have roughly around 10 years of experience in the tech domain. Now I've worked across multiple technologies, be it application development, be it in the data engineering domain, data science domain, be it in Web3, also on ChatGPT itself now, which is a part of, I would say, data science itself. But yeah, I think of all the various pieces of tech, of all the phases of technology that I have personally worked on, I believe data science is the most, I would say, most groundbreaking piece of tech. Not just groundbreaking piece of tech, but the most promising, the most not just promising, but also the most scary piece of tech out there today in the world. I think I want to say this here right now, right away, is that no matter what job you look at, no matter what role you look at, everything out there in the world today is being attacked, being threatened, and if you are aware enough, is being put to extinction, and is being challenged to upskill by the power of data science and by the power of AI and ChatGPT and all the stuff in the data science domain today. Whether you are I don't know, if you've seen this, I want to share this link. I typically share this link with people, but I want to share this with you. I want to share this link with everyone. I want you to look it up in the chat. You will be able to find it. And I want you to open this link wherever you are. Okay, I'm not able to share. I think Deepthi, if you can make me host, I'll be able to share. Yeah. Yep, thank you. So I want you to click on this link, open it up. This is and be amazed by what the former CEO of Google has to say. This is Eric Schmidt. He was the CEO of Google before Sundar Pichai, and what he has to say about the power of data science and the power of AI has come out. This was from 2 years back. He made this statement 2 years back. or in a discussion with the founder of LinkedIn, where he said that, if you open the link, he said that the power of data science will change businesses, will change humanity, will change society, and will change everything around us. He says that you should be running towards AI and data science in general. This statement was made close to 2 years back, uh, where he said that the world of data science and AI, more specifically, will change society, businesses, and humanity itself. If you look back, nobody would have agreed to this 2 years back. But the world today, and especially in the last 2.5, 3 months, has started to not just agree to it, but started to adapt and started looking to mitigate their own risks and started to adapt to the new world that is coming up, the new world that is driven by data science, the new world that is driven by ChatGPT, OpenAI, and all of that. It's changing not just the world at present, but is changing the things that will changing how the world will look like in the future in general. The past, the future in general will not look like the past. That is for sure. Fortunately, where this transition is happening, we're able to control, and we are able to control our own lives, and we are able to control the kind of skills that we possess for the future. That's a brief about the moment that we are at, the time, and we're lucky to be born at this time. We're lucky to be, I believe, frankly, I believe that I'm lucky to be witnessing this transition, and I'm happy to take up any questions if you have around the transition as well, and not just about probably taking up. We are obviously here today to take up anything that you want to ask, anything you want to discuss around around making a transition, and probably taking up a remote job in the US, and what we call it. But I'm happy to take up any questions around the transition as well. Yeah. Aditi, I think that's briefly what I wanted to talk about. Yeah.
Awesome. I hope that sets the context and helps people in understanding why it's important for us to, kind of switch our careers to data science now. Pritesh, I already have a few questions which have been asked to us over the time during our master classes, and I've, kind of bucketed them accordingly. What we'll do is, guys, I would request do not unmute yourself unless you have a question. You raise your hand and I'll unmute you. What we're going to do is, Pritesh, we'll take those 4-5 questions, and after that we'll open the portal for everybody to ask us questions. Guys, you can send us in the chat.
Deepti, you're on mute, but yeah.
That's right. So we'll open the chat box, and you guys can ask us questions as many as you can. You can ask us personalized journey, whatever you guys are going through right now, and how do you want to move towards data science. So the chat box is any which way open, and you can once you send a message, it comes to me or Pritesh directly, and we'll pick up your questions. So guys, go ahead, ask us questions. In the meantime, we'll take up some questions that we already have with us. Yes, okay. So I think the first question that came to me from Ankit in the masterclass itself, Pradesh, is also the first question that I was taking up. Can I switch my career to data science if I am from a non-tech background and an experienced professional? That's the exactly same question, fortunately, that I was also going to take up.
So I think we get this question a lot. I come from a non-tech background, can I switch into, I come from probably I've been working in a non-tech background, and I can switch to data science. I think before I address that question, I want to share a story. I want to probably summarize what happened in the data science world in the last 4-5 years. So data science was not such a promising career probably 5 years down the line, right? Five years behind us, right? Nobody knew back in 2015, 2016, or probably 2018. People didn't know how the world of data science would evolve. Nobody knew about that. So what was happening is that people who came with a tech background, they were jumping into tech, they were jumping into application development, they were jumping into probably whatever roles were available in the tech domain. And most of the people who entered into data science back 5 years, say, ago, were people who came from non-tech background. So what will happen even when you get to meet people in the data science domain today, people who have 5, 7, 10 years of experience, you'll find most of them come from, say someone comes from, I don't know, most of them come from a non-tech background. Someone, even if they come from a tech background, they probably are mechanical engineers, civil engineers. So most of the people who transition this domain where we're either working with product or either working with business, and then they moved into as a business analyst or a product analyst, and then gradually moving into deeper and deeper into the whole data science ecosystem. So that was a phenomena that happened over the last 5, 7 years because nobody knew how data science will evolve. Data science was probably nobody knew it was probably a risk, and people who came from a tech background, they had their own happy lives. They were able to look at a very promising career in tech and not ready to take up risks. So most of the people who ended up in the data science domain were people from non-tech backgrounds. So yeah, I think having said that, what I want to tell you is that if you look at your mentors today, most of them people working at Google, people working at Tesla, most of them are non-IT background folks. So having talked about that phenomena, I just want to say that if you look at what happened, it's proof by itself that anybody can jump into data science. You don't need a background to be able to get started with data science. In fact, all that you need to have a background is you need to be able to understand data. You need to be able to understand use cases. You need to be able to understand, if anything, you need to be able to understand business. You need to be able to understand product. Those are the kind of understanding that you need probably to be a brilliant data scientist. If you'll ask me, that's not even related to getting started, but if you want to be a brilliant data scientist, you need to be able to understand business. You need to be able to understand product. You need to be able to understand how things run. Why? Because if you can't build a, let's say you can't build a self-driving car if you don't know how to drive a car. You will not be able to understand, okay, we need to change what changing a lane means if you have never driven a car. You won't be able to build, say, fraud detection mechanisms for fintech space if you have never interacted with a bank, right? If you've never interacted with a bank. So you need to be able to understand in general business use cases in life or probably in a particular space to be able to become a data scientist, better and better data scientist. So yeah, that's one. Secondly, even if you believe me, no matter where you're coming from, data science is the only career that is open today, that is booming today, and everything else, data science is impacting everything else negatively. So if you're looking to build and start a career anywhere, if you're looking to transition to any career, I think there is, I don't think there is any second choice as well available today. So yeah, I think no matter what background you're coming from, I think you can definitely transition. That is what the history has shown us. And no matter what background you come from, probably data science is the only career that should be transitioning into as well. So yeah, I think I took a little bit time to address that, but yeah, I think that's my opinion on it.
Having said that, Pritesh, do you also believe that a fresher, I mean, like someone who has a clean slate, because a lot of people in the chat box are asking me that we are a fresher, we have not worked anywhere, but now that we want to start our career, someone is from mechanical engineering. There are people who have come from a non-technical, non-analytical background, but they think that they want to kind of start their career in data science. Does that, I mean, like anywhere in the journey, does that affect if you are a fresher and you want to start your career in data science?
I think before I address that question, I want to pose a question myself. Let's say I'm a fresher and I decide to not start my career in data science. What other option do I have? What I want to say here deeply is that what people are missing out, a lot of people are missing out on, is data science is not just an opportunity, but it's also a threat. That is something that a lot of people are missing out on. Today, in 2023, in April, it looks like a brilliant opportunity, but a lot of people are missing out on the threat part. Believe me, in 6 months down the line, towards the end of 2023, you'll realize that data science has started to ChatGPT and AI and all of those things have started to threaten every other job in the world today. I don't know. Probably I just put up this. I just saw this video a couple of days back and put it up on my LinkedIn. If you guys have, you can probably look it up. A whole platform was built using the power of data science by just a voice command. The person clicks on a button, says, "Hey Jarvis." For the cool part was the guy named that tool Jarvis. He said, "Hey Jarvis, I want to build an e-commerce platform with these use cases," and he got the entire platform in front of him within the next 5-10 minutes. So now what I want to start with is that if you're a fresher, what other opportunities do you have in front of you that will probably stay with you for the next 5-10 years? We are sitting in 2023, and probably wherever you get started, you're probably looking at a career for next 30-35 years. Believe me, every other job out there in the world today is getting threatened. It's getting threatened by the domain of data science. Having said that, I want to come back to the original question, which was, if I'm a fresher, how can I get started? Can I get started? I believe the question was, can I get started in data science, still get started in data science domain? Definitely yes. It's not that you have a lot of options. It is very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. I think the Gen Z and the current generation, they came out of a COVID, and then the whole world went into a recessionary kind of a phase. And then once the world starts to come out of that recessionary phase, they're hit by probably the wave of data science, which is taking away every other job, and probably the only kind of jobs that are getting created in the data science domain now. And newer jobs are popping up, newer roles are popping up also in data science domain, be it prompt engineering, be it a lot of engineering domains also. But that's unfortunate that the Gen Z and the probably people who have graduated in the last 3-4 years got hit by one phenomenon after the other. They got hit by I don't know, I believe it's called a black phenomena or something. Yeah, they got hit by one black day after the other. They got hit by COVID, they got hit by a recession, and then they're getting hit by the whole world changing dramatically by the power of data science and ChatGPT and OpenAI and all of that. But yeah, having said that, I think it's also an opportunity, given the fact that the world is transforming as we talk. We are in a transition kind of a phase, and everything is changing. Grab onto it, latch onto it, run with it, and watch your life transform. So that is where we are. And anybody, believe me, anybody, if you're a fresher, you're fortunate to be starting with a clean slate. You don't, the world owes you nothing. You owe the world nothing. Definitely, this is the right time to start, and the right phase to start in the career of data science. And probably 10 years down the line, you will be among the people who would be senior most, and who would be the visionaries and probably leaders in the domain.
Awesome. I hope Vivek, Tapan, Sayan, Narendra, all your questions were answered by what Pradesh has just told. Yes, you can build your career in data science. We understand that you are freshers, you don't have any idea about data science, but yes, you can start if you have the will to start. Pradesh, my next question is also asked by someone in the masterclass itself, but I also have that on my list. If I have a career gap of a certain years, does that affect my journey when I want to, join this course or start my career in data science? Right now, Roshan says that he has 2.5 years of career gap. So, and I, in the past masterclasses, have had people who said that, they have 6 years or 7 years of career gap. Can they start their journeys again? So if you could answer that for Roshan and the rest of the people.
See, data science now is a very, why a lot of people are not able to get started in data science. I'll give you a brief background. Data science, with the demand supply is massively skewed. What I mean by that is that for every data scientist job out there are probably very few actual data scientists out there. I probably phrased it wrongly. I'll rephrase it. For every data scientist out there, for every data scientist, every trained individual, everyone every person who can actually work as a data scientist, there are 10 opportunities out there. There are 10 companies running after that one person. If you just want to think about it, think about how many people around you do you know who are data scientists? Probably no one, or probably a couple of people. There are very few data scientists out there in the world today, and the companies that need data scientists are dozen and dime. So what is happening is that what I want to say is that the opportunities in the data science domain are plenty. So anybody, no matter where you're coming from, can enter the domain. Now, having said that, you will see a lot of data science aspirants, people who want to get into data science. उन लोगों की कमी नहीं है. People who want to get into data science, or who are probably who are probably hustling here and there to get into data science, that population is huge. That kind of janta is abundant. The problem with that, those people not being able to get into data science, the problem there is that data science is a very high skill domain. If you basically, you'll be given a lot of data. So typically, let's look at let me now model the next 2-3 minutes as a master class on how a data science interview process looks like. What an interview process for data science looks like. What happens in that interview process, that your first round will typically, you'll get an assignment where you're given a lot of data and you're being asked to analyze the data and give out certain recommendations based on that data. The second round will be another assignment where you might be given probably a more technical task where you have to probably build some kind of model or something like that, depending on the role that you're applying for. The third round, so basically what you've already talked about, is there will be 2 rounds which will be mostly assignment or project based. The third round will be a technical round where you might get asked a lot of questions around the tools that you have used if you're applying for an analyst kind of a role, or if you're applying for a more on engineering side, you will be asked to explain a lot of algorithms and the logic behind those algorithms and a lot of that. And the next round will be, if there is another round, it will be either technical or a cultural fit kind of round. I'm talking specifically from a US kind of point of view, because we in general specialize there. We in general specialize in getting into these remote US remote jobs. So I'm talking from that. I don't want to exactly comment on the interview process in India, but if I'm commenting more on the US remote jobs and what the process there in these US companies look like. Right. Now, having said that, what I want you to understand, look back at the process that I just talked about, the interview process that I just talked about, and try and understand that data science is a very high skill job. If you have those skills, you'll only then will you be able to clear these 2 rounds. As simple as that. If you have these skills, only then will you be able to clear these 2 rounds. And why am I'm talking about these skills is that if you are skilled, the other side is also true, which means that if you're skilled, no matter what career gap you have, no matter how many, no matter whether you're a fresher, no matter whether you're an experienced guy, no matter whether you come from a marketing background, whatever background you're coming from, if you're skilled, you'll be able to cross these rounds. Hence, again, I'll repeat myself, data science is a very high skill game. If you have these skills, it doesn't matter. Your background does not matter. Irrelevant. It becomes irrelevant. And if you have those skills, you'll be able to crack a job. Simple, straightforward. Okay? It's not like it's not that data science is obsessed about hiring freshers or anything. Data science is obsessed about the whole people working in that domain are obsessed about people who have skills, because skilled people are rare in the data science domain. One. Second thing that I want to talk about is that if you have any background, if you are into say sales for 2 years, let me give an example. If you're into customer support for last 6-7 years, let's say you're in customer support for the last 6-7 years, that's a massive advantage. Like I already started probably this session with the fact that if you have any business sense, any experience whatsoever, that's a massive advantage for a data scientist. Why? Because now you will be able to contribute way better as a data scientist probably in a role where you're building data science based chatbots. For example, if you have some experience as a customer support executive, if you have some experience as a, I don't know, maybe as a mechanical engineer, if you're, let's say, working at a, I don't know, maybe if you're working at say TVS or say Honda or something like that, you'd be much better. Or let's say you're working at Honda, you would be much better positioned to work as a data scientist at Tesla tomorrow. Why? Because you have that understanding of that domain, you have an understanding of that business. So yeah, if you have a career gap, believe me, all you need to do is you need to upskill yourself. You need to upskill yourself so that you are able to crack those jobs. Data science, the whole domain of data science, all that it cares about is it cares about skills. That's it. It's a very deep skill, high skill domain, specialized domain. It's not that anybody will be able to crack it. Only people who have those skills with them will be able to crack it. I'll give you a comparative example as well. I'm taking an extra minute here. I'm taking a lot of time, unfortunately, I know. But I'll taking an extra minute here, and I want to clarify this point. I want to, because I get this question a lot. I want people to understand. See, when let's say I'm applying for a sales role today. Let's say I'm applying for a sales role today. Versus someone who's very experienced in the sales domain, someone who has 7-8 years of experience in the sales domain. Believe me, I won't be at zero. Even if I have zero experience in sales now, I won't be at zero in that interview. I would be able to say something, right? I would be probably, if someone asks me the question, that classic question that goes around in movies, sell me this pen. I'll be able to say something. Yeah, this is a brilliant pen from Camlin and all of that, right? I'll be able to say something. But let's say I give you all this data and I ask you to build a model on it, and you have no experience. You're stuck. You'll freeze. You don't know where to start. I give you this data and I ask you to build a model on top of that. You'll freeze. So what you need to understand is that data science is all about skills, a skill game. Nobody can get started. You can't move an inch. You can't move an inch, not even an inch, if you don't have the required skills. As simple as that. Hence, data science is a skill game versus a lot of other roles that exist where probably a deep skill it's a deep skill, it's a high skill domain, and all that matters here is that if you're able to work on this data, you are in, because that's our requirement. As simple as that. If you're not able to work on this data, you know the outcome. So I think all these concerns, I come from a non-ID background, I have a career gap. I think if you understand the data science as a domain, if you understand the kind of tasks involved, the way the interviews work, you'll understand all these concerns will get wiped off, and you'll be able to be at peace with getting started with data science. Yeah.
I think that answers Roshan's question, and also Aman's question when it comes to the career gap. Pritesh, I quickly want to move towards the kind of course that we have, because a lot of people have been asking me the questions around the kind of course that we have. How can we help in their personalized journey? So I have Mani Ratna's question. So Mani Ratna is asking me some very specific pointers. But I think before we take on his questions, we should just a little explain about Function App's data science course and how we help in banking a US-based remote job, because I think a lot of people are under the impression that with the US market, the kind of recession that is there, how are we able to crack this, and how are we able to help people? So if you can just quickly help us out in understanding the course.
I think I just want to say this, that a part of the recession is curated by data scientists. Part of the reason why a lot of people are losing their jobs is that data science is not taking away anyone's job. People who know data science are taking away their jobs. That's part of the reason. And though it has just gotten started, but I believe a lot of people will get replaced by data science based tools, data scientists, and data science enabled activities in general, let's say. But yeah, having said that, if I want to talk about the course, I believe the course is focused on cracking these US-based remote jobs, and it's a totally different gene itself. The US economy, the data science domain in the US is is very, very different from the data science domain in India. There's a very simple reason behind it. Unfortunately, and it's so unfortunate. It is so unfortunate that India lagged behind in the data science race. That is, it is extremely unfortunate. I mean, I wanted to think right now. I wanted to try and recall. Name one large company in the data science domain in India today. None. Absolutely none. It's not that that is the case for every piece of every new piece of, I don't know, every new wave or every new piece of technology that is out there today. No. Let's talk about another wave, which was let's talk about Web3, for example. Name one big company on a global level that came out of India. You have Polygon. You have Matic, which is probably one of the biggest companies in that space today. Name one big company in data science. Zero. There are none. There are no large data science companies that have come out of India or probably are poised to come out of India in the next couple of years. Next couple of years, mein koi nahi dikh raha. So India, what happened is that India lagged behind in that data science race, and unfortunately for India, data science has become a predominant force, a killer in general for every other piece out there today. But having said that, that is one core reason why we decided let's look to the West. Let's try and tap into the opportunities out there in the West. Out there, a lot of there are tons. India lagged behind in terms of building data science companies, but India did not lag behind in terms of data science talent. There are tons and tons of people today trying to get into data science domain, trying to upskill themselves in the data science domain in India today. Hence, a lot of data science based remote opportunities have opened up to Indians, and that is where we come in. That is where we decided to bridge the gap. And that is where we bring in all these opportunities to our talent, Indian talent, and and we upskill during the entire cohort. We upskill our graduates, our learners for those roles. So how typically the cohort works is that you'll not just be going through a lot of theory, you'll not just be going through a lot of theories and assignments. You'll be actually working you'll be actually working like a data scientist at Stripe, like a data scientist at YouTube, like a data scientist at Airbnb, like a data scientist at Workera maybe, or like a data scientist at Amazon. You'd be working on actual projects that you'll be working on, say, on creating model to match the host and the guest at Airbnb. You will be working on analyzing data at YouTube viewer data. You'll be working on analyzing sales data at Amazon and Walmart. So you'll be working on real projects out there in these US companies, the companies mainly in the West actually. And these projects and the skill sets required in these projects, they look very different from the kind of skill sets and the kind of projects that are there in the Indian companies and India and the demand in the data science community in India today. So we work for typically the kind of skills that are required in the companies in the West. That is where we work. That is where we specialize, and that's our core area of focus as well. Apart from that, I just want to, if anyone has any questions around the cohort, meanwhile on these points you can push them. But apart from that, I just want to talk about one core brilliant factor that we have in our cohort is that we have a ChatGPT developer module as well as part of the course, where we train people on use cases of data science and how to utilize data science in your day-to-day. How to utilize ChatGPT and its APIs and everything in your day-to-day activities as a data scientist at any company or any of these projects. There's a brief about the program. If you want to add anything, probably you can definitely, or you want to take up any questions. Yep.
Yeah, so I'll add to what Pritesh said. During the entire course, we kind of put you through a lot of practical training. We don't talk about theory as such. We will explain you the concept, and then we will only focus on, developing projects, making sure that you get more and more projects, and the entire learning is based on projects instead of theoretical. Because if you guys remember, even in college, we have learned a lot. There was a lot of theory. How much are we applying today? Nothing, right? In with whatever field we are, unless we're working in our core field, we are actually not applying the knowledge that we actually got during our graduation. At least I am not, and I'm sure a lot of people here would not be doing that, right? So we will be only focusing on project-based learning. We'll assign you mentors who have a similar background like you guys have. For example, if someone, so we actually do a profile matchmaking. It's genuinely a matchmaking process where if someone is coming, from a career gap and is, trying to build a career in data science, we give you a mentor who started from scratch without any background in data science, built it through the years, who can actually relate to the kind of problems that you would have, right? We have mentors from across the world, Germany, India, US, you name it, and we have the mentors from, right? So we kind of match make according to, if you are from an automobile industry, we have mentors who are working in data science in the field of automation and automobile engineering, and we match make you with them, right? So there are different kind of mentors that we have. So that's one beauty of the entire program. And then obviously we work on, building a pipeline for you, a personalized pipeline depending on the projects that you have done, depending on the, kind of assignments that you have completed, what kind of progress you have shown in the entire cohort, and then give you a pipeline for US based remote jobs personalized for your particular journey. And then we sit with you, we kind of, figure out which companies to apply for, what kind of jobs to apply for, and then obviously train you for interviews as well, because these interviews would not be easy to crack. If they were so easy, a lot of people would have cracked it by now, right? So we will initiate the entire process after, you join the cohort. Within the within the 5 to 6 months of joining the cohort, we'll initiate the entire placement support. And the beauty of this course is that we are there for you throughout the lifetime. So whenever you face any problem in the field of data science, you lose your job, you want to switch your career, you switch your job to a different company, FunctionUp is always going to be there. Once you are into the FunctionUp's cohort, into our, a community, we will always be there for you. So from banking, the first US-based remote job to the last, we'll always be there with you. So that's about the entire program. As far as the curriculum, someone is asking me about the curriculum. So on the curriculum, I would say that we cover from the basics of Python and go up to ML ops, right? So we cover the end-to-end of the journey when it comes to becoming a data scientist. Pritesh, if you can answer this in terms of depth and breadth, what would you rate the curriculum out of 10? That's a very specific question coming to me.
I think I want to, I think we could go on and on about the curriculum. I'll just give you a brief about the curriculum, which start from say basic analytics and a lot of exploratory analytics. We go into mathematics behind some of these pieces as well. We then take up some bits of programming. We look at SQL, we look at Python, we look at then we move into machine learning, then we move into deep learning, and then we move into ML ops, and we cover deployments and everything. A model redevelopment, model feedback, and all of that. So we move from scratch to probably the cutting edge pieces that are happening in the data science domain today. Apart from that, we also have ChatGPT developer module as part of our curriculum. So that's a brief overview of the curriculum. But what I want to say here is that having talked about the curriculum, I want to say this, that see, there are a lot of data science courses out there. We're not. There is a question: are classes live or recorded? All these classes are live, and you will have recorded videos for these lectures on your dashboard if you want to access them later on. But all these classes are live. But yeah, having said that, I want to say that there are a lot of data science courses out there. Now you just type data science, you'll probably get bombarded with, I don't know, at least 10 data science courses right away. If you want to take up a data science course, you're not short of options. And I will strongly recommend that if you just want to take up a data science course, I will strongly recommend that it should not be FunctionUp. At FunctionUp, we have a goal, and we don't just want to focus on the course. Let's do this course, let's learn these models and everything. We have a goal. We are trying to attack a problem. We are trying to attack a career objective. We are trying to get into these roles that probably most people in the Indian data science community don't have access to. That is what we are trying to do. And in that process, we typically work on everything, every skill set that is required to get there. Be it in terms of theory, be it in terms of, I don't know, be it in terms of the modules that we run, or be it in terms of the kind of projects that we do. The entire curriculum, the projects and everything is designed in a way that we are always, all throughout these 6 months, and even the 6 month additional 6 month advanced courses that you will be taking later on, throughout the entire 6 months, 6+6, let's say, we keep an eye on the end goal, which is cracking these jobs which will pay us remote dollars, cracking these US based remote jobs. That's how the entire cohort, the entire curriculum, the entire course is designed, and the entire course moves as well. The entire course moves projects. The entire course moves through projects, and you'll be learning through projects all throughout. You'll be learning through projects. You'll be learning through projects. You'll be learning through pieces that are through the kind of data that is getting generated at Walmart, the kind of data that is getting generated at Tesla, the kind of data that is getting generated at Stripe, the kind of data that is getting generated at Boeing. You'll be working through projects based on these kind of data and the algorithms required there, and the skill sets required. Then we will be developing those skill sets. We'll be working on those skill sets. So it's not a course. Don't think of it as merely a course. We have an end goal in mind, and that is where that is what the whole alignment is towards. Yeah, that's a brief. I think I wanted to address this when talking about the course and the curriculum. I believe a lot of people, when they look at courses and they look at curriculum, they forget the end goal, because the end goal is probably 4 months away, 5 months away, 6 months away. So people forget the end goal. But yeah, I think throughout the cohort, throughout the course, throughout the curriculum, you should have an eye there. You should have an eye there. You're not here to complete a course, right? You're here to get the result that is due to you after having completed that course. So keep an eye there. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely correct. I think Deepak, your question has been answered by Pritesh. Or yes, you will have to, kind of dive into ML, AI, deep learning if you want to become a data scientist. For data analyst, you need to learn tools like Python, SQL, Tableau, data visualization. All that is what you need for data analyst. So I hope your question around curriculum was answered. Vaibhav actually has a question, Pritesh, and it's written in a very funny way, but I would want to take it up. If someone someone is a zero in this field, but wants to become a hero in data science, what's the first step? Yeah, so if you could answer that question. I think you have already, but let's take that question and answer it. Yeah.
I think the first step is to get started. I'll be very frank. Get started now. Not today, not in 6 days from now, not tomorrow, not in 3 months from now. Get started now. That is the first step. That's the first step. That's where, believe me, that's where 99%, probably maybe 99% is a large number, maybe 95% of the people fail. So if you're getting started right away, right now, get started now. If you're getting started now, you're already better than probably 95% of the people out there. Now, how do we get started? Probably if you want looking for a more customized journey, probably talk to one of our counselors. It doesn't matter. I believe it doesn't matter whether you join Function Up or not, whether you decide to do it by yourself, whether you decide to take up a data science course per se, or whatever you do. How you want to get started is probably not relevant. Getting started now is what matters the most. And if you're looking to for more info on how we can get started now right away, probably Deepti will be sharing a link in the chat where you will be able to book a call with our counselors. One of our counselors, they will be able to help you on how to get started with the data science journey and everything. But yeah, get started now. Now, coming back to the probably what Vaibhav was looking for. Vaibhav also has a question in my chat. I'll also take that up as well. How do we get started now? Probably you're looking for something more in terms of what kind of content to get started on, what kind of uh, stuff to get started on. I think that this, believe me, just type getting started in data science. You'll find tons and tons of content out there on data science and everything, and how to get started on data science, and probably tutorials and everything. Content is not a, believe me, if only access to content would make data scientists, probably all of these positions, open data science positions would be filled by now. Companies would not be struggling to hire data scientists. But the reality is that companies are not able to hire data scientists. They're not able to find people who are capable of filling up those positions. Why? Because somehow people get lost in that journey. You get started, you get bombarded by content, you get distracted, you run here and there, and then you get distracted, and then probably come back to where you were in the beginning. Start now, stay focused, and think of it as a marathon for the next few months. Focus on the goal. There are tons of ways to cover the same journey. There are tons of technology, there are tons of stuff going on in the data science domain. Focus on one, get started, reach there, focus on your goal, get a goal, and be done. That's what your ideal trajectory should look like. I think Vaibhav has another question that is shot at me in the chat, which is how we have to invest daily. I think this is a brilliant question. I think this is something that probably when you're looking to get started in something, these are the kind of things that you should start probably recording as well, right? You start probably counting on, start probably taking notes, noting down, okay, how much time today I spent today on my goal. I think on an average, I'll give you just a lump sum number. If you join FunctionUp, you'll probably be ending up spending close to, if I count everything, including the assignments and the projects and everything, you would be expected to spend close to 14-15 hours in a week. 14 to 15 hours in a week. That's the lump sum expectation that we have from anyone who's joining the cohort. Most major part of the heavy lifting will happen over the weekends, over Saturday and Sunday. And depending upon how much time availability you have, you should be able to spend decent amount of time, at least some amount of time over the weekdays as well. But yeah, that's a lump sum. If you have probably an easy job, where probably you come back home at around, say, at a fixed time, I'm hoping you will be able to spend more time and learn faster and go faster at your own rate over the weekdays as well. But if you have a very hectic job, probably you will get more time over the weekends, and but you should be able to spend good 14 hours in a week. Yeah, I think that addresses the two questions that Vaibhav had, and yeah.
Awesome. Pradesh, I think there is another question by Vaibhav only. How is FunctionUp different from others, as there is a mess in the industry for this course? I think he has nailed it. Yeah.
There is a mess.
Yes.
I think, in fact, the word mess is an understatement. There's so many data science courses out there. And like I said, don't take up a data science course from FunctionUp if you want to take up a course. If you want to, and probably, I'll be very frank. The entire curriculum that we have at FunctionUp, the entire course that we have at FunctionUp, the data science course that we have here, is goal focused. Singular goal. We have only got a singular goal in mind. Is goal focused. It's not course focused. You will build a course. You'll build a brilliant course and everything. We've built a course that will get us this result. That's it. That's what the entire course and the curriculum and the projects and the thesis and everything you'll be working on, FSOC thesis as well, and everything looks like. Everything is oriented towards this goal. If you're looking at this goal, probably the only option that you have today is I don't know why, but probably we are the FunctionUp is the only player, we are the only people who are trying to bridge that gap, who are trying to get this, who are getting this done but that's how it is. And if you're looking for a data science course, I would say there are tons of courses out there. There are tons of courses out there. Choose any. Yeah. That's a brief. I think I could go into details of how the course is different and everything. Just to, I've already given an outline. The kind of projects that we have are very relevant to kind of companies that we're looking to attack. The kind of the kind of interviews that we will prepare for are the kind of interviews that are happening in these companies. The kind of skill sets also that we are prepared, that we'll be working on, are the skill sets that are, and these unfortunately, I don't know how else to phrase it, the kind of skill sets that data scientists in the US is working on versus the kind of projects that a data scientist in India is working on. इनमें ना 19-20 का अंतर नहीं है. The gap between them is not 19-20. It's a heaven and hell kind of a difference. The projects in the US, data science projects in the US are way different, not just in their nature, but also in the skill sets required for those projects versus the kind of projects, data science projects today in India. So heaven and hell are a difference. So that's what it is, and that is where we focus on ourselves. I think I have a couple of questions in my chat as well from Vaibhav.
Okay. I have so many, Pratesh.
I think Vaibhav has put up a remark that he is already registered in the course. And
yes, he has. Vaibhav is our student. Yeah.
The information really matters for us. Thank you for such brief information. Yeah, Vaibhav, I think I'm happy that I will be able to address that. Yeah.
Pratesh, a few questions which are very basic ones, which I want to address at my end. What is the duration of the course? Someone is asking me what's the duration of the course. Are the classes live, recorded? Can we attend the classes offline? How are the class schedules? Guys, I'll quickly give a brief so that we can move to a different set of questions. So the course is a 6-month course. Once you complete the 6 months, we put you through the placement support that we have internally. We'll put you through all the jobs depending on your profile. A personalized pipeline will be created, and we will help you in cracking that US-based remote job. That's a basic side of the course. If you want to do more advanced level, then after 6 months at your pace, once you get a job, I'm sure you guys are going to be super busy because data science is not a piece of cake, right? So everybody is going to be super busy with their job. So after 6 months, the rest of the 6 months, the advanced level of the course, you can do it at your pace, at your time, whenever you require. We will obviously have live and recorded both, but it depends on your learning curve, your timing, your schedules. You can do it at your own pace. So that's how the course is defined in terms of duration. No, the classes are not offline. Noida is our office, not a center, not an institute. So we don't have classes offline. Unfortunately, we are, and since the entire world has become online, so we are also online. We will give you classes online.
I want to add this here that a lot of our mentors are people who are working in US, Germany, and all of these companies. Unfortunately, we can't bring them all to Noida.
Yeah. So that's why we don't have classes offline. And about the duration and about the classes, guys, we have this entire plan in our head that we don't want to disturb your schedules while you are in your current job. Obviously, you will have a lot of time spending in your current job. So we have planned the classes over the weekends only. So on Saturdays and Sundays, you have to spend 2 hours on each day with us for the live classes. And for the rest, the mentor sessions, those can be assigned or scheduled as per your and the mentor's availability. So again, we have the mentor's availability throughout the month. You can choose any slot as per your availability and speak with your mentor. So the live classes are only Saturdays and Sundays, so that it doesn't become a heavy burden on yourself while you are also working in your current job. So that's how the cohort is designed. For cohort, basics of cohort, I'll quickly float a form in the chat. You guys can ask, get a one-on-one mentorship session from the career experts that we have at FunctionUp. They'll help you out with the basic questions related to the course, how the course journey is, and also answer all your personalized questions. I'll move on to the next question, Pritesh. Do you want to take up the questions that you have, or I have a lot of questions with me?
I think we have covered every question that I have in mind.
Awesome. I have Deepak asking me, can I learn only data analytics from Function App? Why I'm asking this question? Because firstly, my ambition is to get into data related jobs, and then later I'll find my way. So can I do that? Will you give me placement opportunity only related to data analytics? Pritesh, if you want to answer that.
I think why not? I think the way the course works is that uh, what we do is that we start exposing you to opportunities after a certain number of modules. In detail, we'll be able to address it more. But after a certain number of modules, once you have covered certain skill sets, we start exposing you to the kind of opportunities that are available that require those skill sets, that require the skill sets for a data analyst, right? As you cover more and more modules, let's say you decide to cover these modules not today, maybe 6 months later. As you cover more and more modules, you keep getting exposed to more and more opportunities that require higher skills. You cover more another couple of modules, you get exposed to a different kind of opportunity which require even further skill sets and even deeper skill sets, and so on and so forth. The more the skills that you cover, the more skilled you become, the more the complex the jobs that kind of opportunities that you get exposed to. So that is how the system works. You can get started as a data scientist, cover the modules, get a data analyst, cover the more technical modules at a later time, and at your own pace, at your own comfort. So I think that's something that probably you will be able to control and you'll be able to decide. Yeah.
Awesome. I think there is one very important question that someone has asked me and has also been asked to me a lot of times in the master classes that we have done so far. What kind of salary brackets can people expect when they are a fresher to, they are an experienced professional coming from different fields, different backgrounds? What kind of salary brackets can people expect, especially in US-based remote jobs?
I think we get this question a lot. I'll be very frank, we get this question a lot. And typically, I think what I want to say here that there's a major understanding that is lacking about how the data science domain works and the kind of opportunities out there in data science domain, and why the fact why data science is a very high opportunity and a brilliant opportunity for anyone who can get started today. The reason why data science is a brilliant opportunity is not the fact that it has very high starting packages and a very high starting salaries, though that is true. I'll come to that. I'll come to what kind of salaries people can get started with in the data science domain, especially after the functional course. But what I want to talk about is that the kind of salaries that people earn in data science after a certain amount of experience. It's very common. It's very common to see someone who has, and I'm talking about India. Let's forget about US remote jobs where the salaries are like there's no end to it. I'll be very frank. In US remote jobs, there is no cap to the salaries. But it's very common for people to be earning anywhere between 40 to 60 lakhs after 4 to 5 years of experience. It's very common to see that CTC. And it's not that this is an exception. The exception would be 1 CR plus. If you are earning an exceptional salary after 4 or 5 years of experience, your salary would be 1 CR plus. If you're earning a common salary, that would be between 40 and 60. So it's very common. If you know anyone who's in data science, just ask them, you'll get to know. The salaries and the growth in the data science domain is crazy high. The way packages grow is crazy high. The way the career evolves in the data science domain, that's unprecedented and unseen of in any other domain. Having said that, I want to probably, I know that a lot of people are still very curious about the kind of salaries that they can start with. I think I want to address that. I think there are typically we have seen two kinds of salary brackets. One would be an average salary bracket getting we can even expect to start an average salary bracket of anywhere between 8 to 12 lakhs. The other bracket would lie in a dream salary bracket, which is between 25 to 40 lakhs. 40 lakhs is more of an exception, I'll be very honest. But the average salary bracket, which goes around 25 to 30 of sorts. So there are typically two kind of salary brackets. One would be an average salary bracket of 8 to 12 lakhs, and then there would be another dream salary bracket of average getting started dream salary bracket of 25 lakhs plus. That depends a lot upon your performance. It will depend a lot upon how prepared you are, how you have been able to upskill yourself, how you have been able to perform all throughout the cohort, and how much time you have invested, how much effort you have invested. uh, I think that will be the determining factor on about the kind of salaries that you will be able to crack and which bracket you eventually end up in. Yeah.
Awesome. I hope that answers the question. I think Roshan has a question, Pritesh, which is more around trust. How would I trust your guaranteed placement program? There are most of the institutes from different platform instead of visiting them. Okay, so basically, Roshan was asking me if we have, he can take offline classes, right? So he's basically saying if he's not able to visit our premises, how can he build the trust? Roshan, the gates are open. You can come to our office anytime you want to, but unfortunately, we will not be able to provide coaching in the office. That you'll have to do online. But Pritesh, if you want to pick it up.
I think one I want to get started with this is that I think as far as offline is concerned, that is not there on the plan on paper, and we are never going to do that. As far as offline is concerned, I believe every learner should be running away from it. I've said myself that if you're looking for a data science course and you don't have any goal from that course, probably you could look anywhere, right? But I will still say here that run away from offline. Run away. It's a danger sign. You should, and I'll talk from first principles. I'll talk with a very I'll try to make a very basic common sense out of why people should be running away from offline. See, the kind of people that we are able to get into because we run this platform online is probably is someone who's working at Tesla today, someone who's working at in Germany in the data science domain today. And even if people who are working in India, these are people who are working at Amazon, Google, and all of that. People who are actually into the industry today, people who are actually looking at data sets. Where do you think I want to think and understand, where do you think college education went wrong? The people who are involved in that education system are people who were probably part of the corporate world probably 10 years ago. The last touch with the corporate ecosystem, with the job world, was probably in the 90s or probably in the early 2000s. That's the same case with offline centers. Offline centers are the kind of people who are teaching. How do you get someone who's a data scientist at Amazon to teach at an offline center in, I don't know, Jalandhar maybe, or even if Bangalore? How do you get him? Why do you think that guy will ever travel from his home, take a 1 hour drive, go to that offline center, and then be able to teach for 2 hours and then travel back for another hour? So nobody does that. So the kind of people who are involved in that training piece at any offline center are probably not industry professionals, are not industry practitioners. I don't know, or probably I don't know what. I don't want to comment on who they are. I don't have any experience with that, but I can certainly comment on this, that you're not able to get the best brains. You're not able to. Those are definitely not the best people. The best people in the data science domain are people who are already working at data scientists here and there. Why? Because anybody who's good at data science will never end up being a full-time tutor, because if you understand, the pay in the growth in the career growth, the pay in data science domain is such crazy high. Why would you ever take up a full-time tutoring role vis-a-vis a data scientist role at Amazon, or say even at a small company? That anybody who's taking up a full-time tutoring role in data science is probably definitely not the best of the best in the data science domain. That's for sure. Having said that, I want to come back to Functional, and I think it's a no-brainer. Run away from offline data science centers and everything run as far away as possible. I'll just summarize there. But I want to come back to Functional. I want to say that I believe we have a 14-day, 2 weeks, no question asked. no question asked, full refund on anything that you have, any amount that you have deposited functional. No questions asked. So if you're not able to build that trust, if you're not able to feel confident about the curriculum, uh, the mentors, about your experience, about the platform in general, about the kind of projects that you're working on, no questions asked. That is how we have been able to build that trust. That is how we have been able to maintain that rapport with our learners. Yeah.
I hope that answers the question.
I'll to repeat myself again, Deepthi. I think just the question that someone is the fact that someone talked about offline. I think it scared me so much. I just want to say, run away from offline. I don't care whether you choose to work with, choose to learn at Function Up or not, but please, for God's sake, don't join an offline local coaching. Please don't do that. That will be the worst decision, one of the worst decisions. uh, Whoever that person was, that will be one of the worst decisions that you will make in your life, and you'll regret it like anything. Please avoid that. I would say prefer learning. I don't know. I don't know probably how, but prefer any other way over, say, joining an offline. That is the worst decision that you will make, and you'll regret it for a very long time. Believe me. Sorry, Deepthi, if I disturbed you. I think
It's fine. It's absolutely fine. It is important for us to kind of, give that information out, what's right and what's wrong with the experience that we have in the field. Pritesh, I've got a lot of questions around, very specific around the course. So, guys, I've floated the form in the chat. Would request you all, if you have very focused questions on the curriculum, on the course, on the fee structure, I think you should get on a call with our experts. Our experts will help you with those minute details of the program. And because of the greater interest and the people on this call, we would like to keep the questions open for very questions which are related to career in general. So for the course, Pradesh has given a lot of information. I think I have given a lot of information. The rest can be taken up by our counselors. Please do fill the form so that you get that information. We don't want an information gap here. It's just in the interest of time. So we would request you all to kindly fill the form. I think Pritesh, the questions that I have, I had have been answered. I had multiple questions in the same, bucket. So I think we have answered those. If you have any in your,
There's a few remarks. There are a lot of appreciative remarks, like thank yous, and it was so useful. And all. I think that's one of our that's why we are here. So I appreciate that you find it useful. But there are a couple of remarks that I will also take up. Yashoda has a remark, which is key classes are only on weekends. Are they for the whole week, or is it for a weekend? Probably, if I were to frame that remark as a question, that what it would look like. So I think I want to address that by saying that these live sessions that you have will be over the weekends. There will be it will be over Saturday and Sunday. Throughout the week, what you will be having is that you'll be having assignments, you'll be having projects, you'll be having a lot of doubt sessions. You'll be able to take up book slots for mentor sessions. So you would be engaged in a lot of activities throughout the weekdays, but those are not activities that you have to do on a particular day. Probably if you have a very busy weekday, if you have a very hectic weekday, you'll have to pick up those activities over the weekends as well. But yeah, I think that's a brief summary about how your week will look like. Typically, we would expect you to spend some time in these doubt sessions, in these mentor session, book some mentor sessions, spend some time over these assignments. There will be a lot of assessments. There will be a lot of mock interviews also. A lot of stuff will be happening. It's not just limited to classes. But yeah, broadly speaking, yes, classes will be concentrated over the weekends, and a lot of other stuff will be happening all throughout, which you will be able to take up at your own convenience, at your own time. But yeah, I think if you were to spend, say, a good 14 hours in a week, we would expect you to spend some time over the weekdays as well. Yeah, that's a brief. Yeah, I think that was one remark. About from that, I think I can see a lot of appreciation, a lot of thank yous in the chat. The session is very useful. I'm glad that it was useful. I don't have any more questions in the chat, Deepthi. Yeah.
So Pratish, I have one last question which we'll take up and then we'll wrap up. Will data visualization tools Power BI be taught as it is widely used? I think this is such a coincidence. You were talking about Power BI today only, and it's a coincidence to get this question, Pritesh, if you can answer that.
Yeah, it's a coincidence. Yeah, definitely. We were discussing about this today. I think what we have chosen is we have chosen to work on Tableau, not on Power BI. Tableau is a much more widely accepted, much more widely used platform for data visualization and everything. And apart from that, you will also be working on a lot of libraries like like Matplotlib, like Seaborn and all of that. But yeah, as a tool, we would be focusing on Tableau. Now, Tableau and Power BI are two parallel tools. They do the exact same thing. So you will have to choose one of them. You will not be able to learn both. As simple as that thing. You'll not be learning both. You'll have to choose one of them. We chose to work with Tableau because that's a more widely accepted, that's a more widely adapted, and that's more relevant tool for the kind of job opportunities that we are attacking, that you would be we would be opening you up to. That's more relevant. But yeah, I'll be very frank, if somebody has a very strong bias for Power BI, it's like if you learned one, the other one is pretty straightforward, because the kind of stuff that Power BI gets done is similar to what the kind of stuff that Tableau gets done. It's as simple. If you are able to attend a webinar on Zoom, you'll also be able to attend a webinar on Google Meet tomorrow, right? So that transition is not very big, not very huge. Probably it might not be as easy as transitioning from Zoom to Google Meets, but yeah, I think that's a pretty straightforward thing to do still. But having said that, I'll specify this, that we have adopted you and we will be learning Tableau as a tool for all of that analysis and visualization rather than Power BI.
I hope that answers your question, Anand. Anuraj, the process for admission to this course, I've sent you the form link. Would be great if you can fill that. Our team will reach out to you shortly and explain you everything about the course, the admission process, and what you can expect out of the course. I hope all the questions are answered. We were able to, kind of take up. There were so many questions. I kind of lost the questions that I wanted to ask, to be very honest. So I think these were the questions that we had, Pritesh. And I'm really thankful to all of you for joining today and kind of asking those questions, because I think your question might also be helpful for someone else as well. Right. So this would be great. Thank you so much, Pritesh, for answering and addressing all the queries that our audience had today. And it was really nice talking to all of you.
Thank you. I think I want to say this, that before we part ways, I just want to say this, that guys, if you are here today, you already have I'm pretty sure you already have a very strong, high intent of getting started in the data science domain. But fall in that 5% bracket. I talked about this bracket earlier, right? Fall in that 5% bracket who will get started right away. Most people, 95% of the people, will never be able to get started on all of that together. You're already better than 95% of the people if you get started. Start today, start now. Not even today, start now. Don't close your laptops, your phones, and just, I don't know, don't get lost in your existing world right after this. Start now. Start now. Probably if you're looking to get started with function up, probably you already have the links for booking a counselor calls. Fill up the form, will be able to reach out. Even if you're not looking to get started with function, no matter how we are getting started, start now. Start now. That today, tomorrow, and 6 days, you're not 15, right? You're not 13-year-old who's, what happens when you're 13-year-old, you still believe in कि कल चालू करेंगे, कि कल कभी आएगा. Once you have crossed that teenage, you understand कि कल कभी नहीं आता है. जो पेरेंट्स, जो माँ बाप हमें बोल रहे होते हैं बचपन से कि कल किसने देखा है, कल कब आएगा तुम्हारा, and all of that, ठीक है. They were so true. So understand that and start now and not tomorrow. I beg you to get started right away, because believe me, when 10 years down the line, when you're 2035, 2030, 2040, now 5-10 years down the line, the world would have changed dramatically. Every job that you know of today now, every job that you think this is a cushion. This is a blanket for me. If I don't become a data scientist, I'll try getting into, I don't know, probably you have some background, you're working into, say, you're working in a sales job right now, you're working in a marketing job right now, we're working in whatever job right now. All of those jobs will probably be in a very bad position in 5-10 years down the line. The world is changing such dramatically that it's become very difficult to keep. I just want to say this: the world is changing. I want to repeat this: the world is changing such dramatically. And I was having this discussion with someone just yesterday. The world is changing such इतने changes हो रहे हैं ना दुनिया में कि उन changes का track रख पाना impossible हो गया है. And all of these changes, believe me, all of these changes are powered by data science. All of these changes are powered by AI, data science, ChatGPT, and all of these data science related, data science domain specific tools. And have you ever seen, I don't know, probably in the last 200 years, we've never seen the world evolve at that rate. कि दुनिया में changes आ रहे हैं, which are impacting the entire world at such a rate. एक दो change आता है, एक ना दुनिया में कोई change आता है ना, वो 10 साल में एक बार आता है. But एक एक दिन में इतने सारे changes आ रहे हैं कि उन changes का track रख पाना impossible होता रहा है. That is the way. इस speed से दुनिया ना शायद, the world has rarely evolved at this speed at which the world is evolving today and has evolved in the last 1 month. Either you can embrace it or you can wait for that tomorrow and feel the burn of it. So it is so, I don't want to scare you off or anything. It is so, I feel that it's fortunate. I'm so lucky to be witnessing this in my own lifetime, but that is how it is. Embrace data science now and not tomorrow. That would be my parting message. And I think, yeah, well, I'll wrap it. Right. Deepak has a question. I think.
Yes, I was about to say he has raised his hand. So, Deepak, I'm going to unmute you. You can ask your question directly to Pritesh.
Good evening, ma'am and sir. After how many months after enrolling in this course, data science, after how many months will I get the placement opportunity? Because see, I have learning Excel, SQL, and Power BI from last 50 days, and I have built many projects on this.
Got it. So Deepak, typically the placements kaise dikhta na, I'll just be very frank, is that this is a 6 months long course with another 6 months of advanced data science, which is an optional part which you can do at your own pace at any time. But yeah, that is how the course is. So typically the placements look like these, that after a certain number of modules, which is typically around 4.5 months kind of a time frame, you will start getting exposed to the opportunities that require these skill sets. Simple. I'll repeat myself. After a certain period of time, you start getting exposed to the kind of opportunities that require those skill sets. For those particular jobs, you will start seeing them on your portal and all of that. As you cover more and more, so that will start within, say, around 4.5 months. Okay. Cohort to cohort, speed differs. Okay. That is what will happen. But as you cover more and more modules, you'll keep getting exposed to better jobs. You'll keep getting exposed to jobs that require deeper skill sets and more specialization and all of that. So if you just talk about getting started, that would be, say, for 4.5 months. But if you keep upskilling yourself, you'll keep getting exposed to different kind of jobs and jobs that require deeper skill sets. That's a very brief outline of how the job site function work. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Pritesh, we have another hand raised.
Yeah.
Let's take it. Yeah, Bharuddin, I am unmuting you. Please go ahead and ask your question. And I think it's pretty late, guys. We'll take Bharuddin's question, would be the last one, probably, and the rest you can ask our counseling day.
You'll be able to unmute.
I think I did unmute.
Ma'am, may I ask? Ma'am, may I ask you?
Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead.
सर ये कोर्स कब से स्टार्ट होगा सर?
I'll answer that. The course is starting from 29th of April, Bharuti. The next cohort is on 29th of April, which is 9 days from now.
सर इस मैम इसका ग्रुप बनेगा क्या व्हाट्सएप
Yes.
पे?
We'll be creating a Slack channel for all the cohort members. Once we start the cohort, there will be a Slack channel where you will get all the information about the course, all your classes, everything will be shared, and we'll also have a portal, a learning management system, which will be given to you once you enroll for the course. And then on that portal, you will get to know your classes, your mentors, your assignments, your tests, your live lectures, everything, notes, everything will come on that portal. So you'll get access to everything.
मैम इसमें नोट्स वगैरह बनाने रहते हैं क्या?
Notes and everything we'll provide
मैम
you,
इसमें
Bharuti.
notes
We'll provide you the notes.
I think notes pe I'll add just from my experience. We obviously providing all the notes, but the best notes are the most.
Thank you, sir.
But the best notes are the notes that you make yourself. So
Yeah.
all throughout the cohort, please do keep making notes.
Awesome. I think that answers all the questions, Pritesh. It's time to wrap up. Thank you everyone for joining and listening to us patiently, asking so many questions. We actually got to know that there's so much noise in the world today that people are not able to figure out how to go forward, what to do to kind of launch their careers in data science. So thank you so much, Pritesh, for answering all the questions, and thank you everyone for joining. We'll wrap up. Good night to all of you, and we are looking forward to talking to everybody who has filled the form. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Pradesh. Thanks a lot. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.